Derek, can you fan me, please? Hey, look at this. We're gonna make fresh tortillas at home. Are you ready? We have the amazing Chef Cluadette Zepeda gonna teach us how to do this. I thought it was super hard, but you make it pretty easy for us.
It's super easy. Anyone can do this process very, very easily. We're fortunate to live in San Diego, so we have plenty of Mexican grocery stores that make tortillas. You can go and ask them to sell you a pound of masa, fresh masa, and or you can buy masa harina. You can get the ship product that you find on the counters or in the grocery store aisles, or you can go online. Hacienda does a beautiful non-GMO masa harina.
I think what she was saying was there's commodity stuff on the shelf that you can get, or you can get a nice product like this one right here.
It's an heirloom corn. It is minimally treated, so it's like the low intervention cooking that I love. This corn is coming straight from a farm. They nixtamalize it and they produce it right away. The stuff on the shelf, God knows when it was processed. So, you know, your food's only as good as the ingredients you use. If you use something that is fresh and is made, you know, in an honest way, I find that it just tastes better. At least makes me feel better.
Chef, as you're mixing this one and explaining this, how much water, what part to what part on this?
I'll show you the texture, and you want to kind of see how this is almost a little tacky. It's not super watery, but it's also not crazy firm. So that's the texture you want to get.
With your beautiful GMO-free heirloom corn, I'm going to put some tap water into it, all right? Some of San Diego's finest right there.
And then salt. I think there's a misconception on making tortillas that you shouldn't have salt. The masa should have salt in it. I think salt is an ingredient that you can use to heighten the taste of the corn. And then once it's cooked, a little bit more salt. In order to make tortillas be like really fluffy, you have to kind of knead air into it.
And I love what you said earlier. How do you know when you're done with this?
When the souls of my ancestors say, that's enough, that's enough.
So I don't speak Spanish, so what are they going to say to me?
Ya pendejo.
Yeah, I love it.
So let's see. Yeah, it's a little tight, so a little bit more water. I'll get it for you.
I've always understood that there was kind of a lard or a fat element to tortillas, but you've told me that there's not.
I mean, it's like if you want something to taste good, put bacon in it. Of course it's going to taste good. Of course the tortilla is going to be great with lard. But normally it should just be those three things: water, the masa harina, and salt. Yes, just a little bit more. Get in there, come on.
Okay, grandmother has not spoken to me yet. I will keep going. As I was raised on like TV dinners and stuff in the good old USA here, and we always look for the easiest way out. What would you just die if I just threw this into a kitchen mixer?
No. Actually, like
add the air that way.
Yes, with a paddle.
Yeah.
Great cheat.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
At the restaurant, I mean, we were making 20 kilos of
true.
masa, so I would kill my tortillera. Like, she's 4 feet nothing, poor woman. She would do it by hand, but I just couldn't. So yeah, giant mixer and a paddle.
Perfect. Good to know. Yeah, I feel it. Yep.
See how it's pretty close to texture.
Yes.
So you want it to be tacky, but you want it to come off your hand. When you're kneading it, it doesn't stick. It all comes off. So for me, and I was taught this is from my grandmother, the grocery produce bags are the only thing to use for making a tortilla. It's the perfect thickness. Any thicker and it rips the masa. Honestly, you cannot get this result if you used a thicker bag. So this is the perfect thickness for it to just peel off. And grab it with your hand. And it should be able to do this, like it doesn't stick to your hand.
All right, so if you don't have this big wood burning stove at home, you can use a saute pan, put it on the burner, electric burner if you're in the dorm room. Don't tell your PAs what are there.
So once you have the edge of the tortilla kind of curl up a little bit, and that's when it's telling you that the outside is cooked, the inside's still a little raw. At that point, you want to flip it. That way the skin doesn't develop and it doesn't make a really crunchy tortilla. So here we've flipped it, and now we're waiting for the air pockets to bubble up. And you'll know when it's ready when the tortilla has bubbled up enough to where the layers separate, and that's what makes that pliable tortilla. That's what gives you that texture when you bite into a taco and the meat is itself, you know, the integrity of the meat is there, the tortilla, you can taste the chewiness. That's what you want. And if it doesn't happen naturally, you can actually take a towel and basically you're pressing the air out of it and you can see it come up. So you're kind of cheating, but you're using what you got. And you want to have your pan really, really, really hot because you want to make that first sear on the tortilla and then flip it fairly fast. And that's what creates that heat to make those bubbles rise. And the thing on good tortillas is that you can fold it and it doesn't crack. Imagine a taco and you're eating it and it splits in half and then just all the bottom falls out. You want it to be able to fold, it stays the integrity. This is your plate, right? This is your spoon. So you want to make sure that it is flexible. If not, it's a bad tortilla.
Nobody wants a cracky taco. Now that's demystifying the tortilla. Thank you so much, Chef.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You can make these at home, and if you check out the playlist, you can get lots of other great recipes from Chef Claudette. Check it out. Listen to grandmother.